Şoseme geçip bitiyan mevcut doğan malumumuzun adresi doğan Manitoulin Island. Manda saagagan chunop megnik ya nato saagagattek miudu mandani Ontario ejnekatek Canada. Mi manda maman chimiki biak bish parnagamek mantbiket kabek. Manitoulin dagwit manda Manitoulin Island. Godoswe mantbi nishnabegen den kiat tenun. Mantbi minising mino nibena kabedin goshugik. Manda gamzin adresi doğan we bought the manda etchipitiang. We know the madiang kenege or chigang. We know the mandan the moinena. Me know you, me know chajakung.
I look at it as a normal process in life, and I see myself aging gracefully at my workplace. I'm known as the language keeper, the knowledge keeper. I want all the children, students in my community to call me Nokmis. Nokmis.
I keep very active for my age. And I do a lot of outside activities, like, for instance, every year, as long as I can remember, I've been doing Winterwood. When I retired from work, I noticed I was a bit overweight, and I started walking. I walk with my dog. I talk to my dog. It keeps my mind thinking all the time what to do. And my dog's a very happy dog. He doesn't talk to me, but we get along well. And I garden a lot. I have projects every year. I have a different project. Last year, I built a little addition to my home, and the year before that, I built an outdoor cooking area. This year, I've built new flower beds, and also, I started to build a pizza oven. And for my mind, to keep my mind, as we age too, our mind also ages. And for my mind, I do, like puzzles and word find and anything I can find keep my mind active.
We have to start finding a way to earn the respect from children. What I usually do is I show them magic tricks or teach them something new that they don't know. And when you bond with a child, it comes all through his life, and he ends up calling you uncle, like they call me Uncle Lou.
Huh? What? How'd you do that? How did you do that?
Healthy aging, to me, would be to be at peace. And the way I found that is to give up my old habits that I've had. I had suffered immensely with addictions. And then I found a way to get rid of all that. I eventually got into a self-help program.
A part of healthy aging is the ability to be able to get your voice out there and to get your point across, not only to yourself, to others in your family, but to your leadership. I enjoy meeting with all the seniors and elders in our community. It's a privilege to be with them.
People have indicated to me that they would like to know more about the Elders Council, and they also wanted to maybe present some issues. So it would be good for the Elders Council to have maybe openings for presentations by certain elders wanted to make a presentation. It could be structured in such a way as to maybe do a little video, or they could also just have maybe a Zoom meeting to present their issue.
I had a setback, some medical procedures. Upon returning to my home, I had some issues regarding the setup of my home. It wasn't fully accessible for me. There's too much stairs in my home.
There should be some kind of investigation into the previous accidents to determine what the corrections should be to further prevent future falls.
I feel that we need more services for us in the home because we want to stay in our home as long as we can and not be put in nursing home when we're still mobile.
We got to have safe areas where older people can live. In the future, there's not going to be enough room in the nursing home, so they got to have a suitable place for them to live, like design apartment blocks where 6 people could stay with a caregiver, which would have a walkway all around where they could walk undercover.
Over this past 2 years, one of the things we have learned is how resilient we can be. COVID has really taught us a lot of valuable lessons. One of the things I've learned is to be reliant on others within your own circle. We must look out for each other, but we also got to be cautious and prepare ourselves when we're working with them.
It was hard losing your partner, and then this epidemic virus came along 2 months right after. So really, my family couldn't visit, or I couldn't go and visit them. But I was happy that the support workers were jumped in and helped me out too. But once it started to clear, they started avoiding the days. And later on, I noticed that they don't call anymore. So it's kind of hard, especially living alone, nobody to talk to. But if they call and at least call, you don't have to come, at least I'd be happy to.
Presently, at our community of Wikwemikong, we do have a team of support workers, personal support workers. So far, the service is very, I find it very good. However, these services are limited sometimes, that the government provides limited funds, so there's only funds for maybe during the day only. As older people, we are often called upon to help our relatives, our friends, driving somebody to an appointment up in Sudbury. I've had meals delivered to my house, and also, like, in return too, I help my family out, feed them as much as I can in nutritious meals. And sometimes we do have to phone and make phone calls for them as well, because sometimes they can see the phone and sometimes they don't know who to talk to.
It's important for those that are providing for the planning of activities in the community to ensure that the elders are included in their consultation, that they can hear. Oftentimes when planning is being done, I would be the one that would contact the elderly, and I would have the questions for them that would assist them, and that they themselves are identifying what they are in most need of.
At this age, I never thought I knew technology. I'm surprised where I'm at with this filming, where to put the cameras and how to set it up, and even the tripod. It was a new learning experience, and I am happy that at this age that I was welcome to come and take part of it, and I really enjoyed it.
Elders are caretakers of our language, our culture, and the environment. It would be a great loss if we lost our traditions.
It's kind of hard for elders to do their teachings, like firekeeper, for instance, because that's what I teach. Because right now we don't have very much firekeepers at all. In this Nochointik, they give us a plan to go out in 7 communities on the island so that we could teach the younger generations so that they continue with the knowledge that they'll receive.
My passion is beading, and I'd like to pass it on to the next generation. Seeing my grandchildren wear my beading projects gives me pride and joy in my beadwork.
I've learned a long time ago that the language, how important it is to people like my parents who are speakers. It was never passed down because of the intergenerational abuse and what they learned from the residential schools. And because it was forbidden there, they didn't try to teach us. And my brothers, my sisters, we don't speak it. One of the things that I have learned over the years is that the language, it protects us. It's what the Creator gave us so that we could talk amongst each other, and not only just talk, but it's a way of life. It defines us.
Spirituality is very important in our lives. I found it through the sweat lodge. That's our ways, the native ways of doing it. From there I learned to be accepting to the Christian way of life. So what I do is I help out with the services in the church, and that's the same way. It's a church, and it's also you practicing my traditional ways.
When I think of healthy aging, I have a lot of concern. I worry about not only healthy aging for myself, but healthy aging for this world, for Mother Nature.
Not long ago, they had said if our temperature goes up 1 degree, that we would be in big, big trouble. And the temperature went up 2 degrees. So we're starting to get the effects from that. The ocean expands because the temperature expands the ocean. And that's why our Great Lakes stop flowing. We have to stop taking so much from the environment.
Part of my job as a consultant is to know and understand climate change, invasive species. We have aerial spraying on our berries and our bushes and our trees and our forests, which is spreading a poison. And it's something we have to really start looking at and start to understand. Everything is here for a reason.
And one of the messages that I've received lately is forgiveness. Forgiveness is hard to do sometimes. When somebody does something bad to you, you start to respond in a rough way. And the best thing to do is forgive. And that way, when your day's over, you're clear because you got nothing negativity around you.
Every morning when I get up, when I meditate a little bit, I ask for forgiveness. Whatever I've done in the past, whoever I hurt, whoever I say the wrong words or something like that. In this way, I walk my walk peacefully.
In our communities across Canada, children, now they're elders, they have taken the responsibility and the courageous step to come forward and speak to the conditions that they experience, especially in residential schools. I would like to thank those individuals that have stood up to speak to what had happened to them. That takes a lot of courage.
The 7 grandfather teachings are very valuable in all aspects of our life. And, we can't go on living in the past. I know they carry a lot of pain and anger. And then once they find out about the 7 grandfather teachings, they would learn, how to forgive. If it's not forgiven, then you're carrying something that you really don't want to be burdened down with.
As far as the truth and reconciliation is concerned, there needs to be more done on that between all our communities, especially with the people that instigated or started the whole process. That it's very harmful. It was very harmful. It was very hurtful, and especially to families. The family unities have been are now divided. Some of them. This is where maybe the Elders Council could maybe help out with the community to bridge the forgiveness that has to occur between all of us. That the peace will continue and the forgiveness will be there in each of our hearts.
Way, hey, we higher.